All right, let's talk about UFC 316. Got our two favorite Mexican fighters in the main event, Morab versus O'Malley. We can definitely all agree that first fight was a little bit strange, no? At the Sphere, Noche. The fight starts off with Tim and Morab having that exchange and Herb stopping the fight there. You also had Herb at the end, like clapping his hands and yelling at them to work. The kisses. Morab looked like Morab, but I think he kind of looked off as well. He definitely looked better in his fight after against Umar. Constant takedown attempts, right? Just constant. And that's the kryptonite we think is for O'Malley. Even at the height and reach disadvantage, it turned out to be much more of an advantage for Morab here, because in that first fight, O'Malley could not figure out his range. He was constantly overstepping and overreaching, and Morab would just duck under and take him down. So we assume that's the same thing that's going to happen again, right? I don't know. Maybe. I think both fighters are going to look better. I think O'Malley's going to look quite a bit better, but I think Morab looks better too in this rematch. I haven't even watched any of the media day yet. I think it starts soon, and then we still have weigh-ins and the rest of the week to see how these guys look. But I think O'Malley in the second time around should be able to find his range a little bit better. And I was a little bit surprised in that first time that he couldn't. And it's just his feet weren't quite under him. Like right away, he started off okay, but it fell off real quick. He stopped moving as much and his volume wasn't there. And when he threw, he just like threw over his head. And then if you listen to the corner, you know, even Tim is like, start aiming for the neck, you know, because you're just not finding it. I still think I'm going to pick O'Malley here. And I get it. Why, like, Morab has the cardio, he has the takedowns, and those just help with optics, if anything. Even if he doesn't do damage, it's just one of the oldest things you can pretty much rely on, especially if O'Malley doesn't crack him hard enough. If Morab can take him down and end the round on top and just doing the minimum, you know, judges see that and they're probably going to favor Morab to win that round. It's optics. But I just think with better setups or a more varied setup for Sean O'Malley, the 2 to the body is money. Teeps or those push kicks to the body, it's money. I think the left hook, some uppercuts, and to a lesser degree, a reliance on those knees up the middle, they're still there, but I just think throw those a little bit less. Just because it's so high risk, like why be in that close and throw a knee? Morab just is going to bury his chin and, you know, take you down. But I think at range, some more kicks would be very helpful and just a better setup overall. He got so flat-footed in the last fight and stopped moving. It's hit and move, hit and move, hit and move. And Morab's usually all the way out, or he is all the way in. And that's the tough part for O'Malley, is Morab plays at distance so far away and like hops around. And then do you ever notice how often Morab spins? Like that dude spins so often. But I think just a little bit better distant management from O'Malley. He finds the chin and he knocks him out, or, you know, does enough to win some rounds. And is that crazy? Absolutely it is. But I got to double down, guys. I picked him in the first one. Got to pick him again. Strange first fight. I think this will be a good fight. I think this will be a good one. I think it'll be better than the first one. We'll see. I think most people are going to choose Morab by decision, which I think is smart. I'll choose O'Malley. Should we say third or fourth? We'll go third or fourth. I'll probably post my picks on X. All right, the co-main event, Juliana Pena versus Kayla Harrison, with Harrison being a -600 favorite here. The challenger. That's crazy. Pena wins by toughness. That's how she wins this fight, by cardio, volume, and toughness. That's her path to victory. She's gonna punch herself right into Kayla's clinch, and Kayla's going to figure out a way to get this to the ground, and it is Juliana's job, to get back to her feet and just throw heavy volume and to survive, to live to live through round 1 and 2 and get to that third round. And we'll see where Kayla's at from there. It's a big weight cut for her, but Kayla's big and she's done it before now. And This is the title fight. This is it. This is the one she needs to make championship weight, but this is the one that she wants the most. Pena's path to victory is winning rounds 3, 4, and 5, or trying to get a stoppage in round 4 and 5 by just high volume, as ugly as it is, striking, just constant striking, constant pressure, constant survival. And she's going to get herself in trouble doing it, but when she's beaten and battered Juliana in round 3, she's got to put it on her. She's got to put it on Kayla. And that's how she wins this fight. Unless something crazy happens. But the chances of that, I mean, we saw it against Amanda Nunes, I guess, but I don't know. The strength of schedule for Kayla Harrison has just been so much stronger right now. And even despite the weight cut, I can't bring myself to pick Juliana Pena. So is it going to be it might be a mauling, but it's women's MMA. Who the hell knows? But I just don't think Juliana Pena is going to be able to stop herself from getting frustrated at range, or I don't even know if it's frustration as much as it is just, octagon awareness or whatever you want to call it. I think she's just going to punch herself into Kayla's clinch. And I don't think Kayla's going to have to try hard for it, but we'll see. But what is Kayla Harrison, round 1 or 2? TKO maybe? Could be submission. It's going to be a stoppage, I think, in the first 2 rounds. But if not, and it goes to round 3, I'm pretty excited for that. I'm excited to see what happens if it does go to round 3, 4, and 5. Let's also just take a quick look at Kelvin Gastelum and Joe Pyfer. I like Kelvin Gastelum. I don't like Joe Pyfer as much. That's just my feely feels, and I won't be in my feely feels. I'll be rooting for Kelvin as I always do. Comes from one of my favorite seasons of The Ultimate Fighter. It is my favorite season, Ultimate Fighter. It's the only one I actually enjoyed. It's the one that went to FX after the whole Spike TV thing, and it had way better production, cleaner production, better graphics, better lighting, better songs. Just everything was better. And Kelvin Gastelum was on there, and he did really good. But he was fighting at welterweight, and we know how his career has gone from there. On a mission for gold. But he's a southpaw fighter, but he's shorter, got the reach disadvantage. Joe Pyfer fights pretty decently. He's got real long punches. I really like that he does left uppercut or left hook to the body. He attacks off his opponent's jab a lot of the times. And he does a good balance between being the pressure fighter and being the counter fighter. So he's got some dynamics there on the feet. He's also got a strong takedown. Now, that's the one thing I'm most curious about in this fight is what the wrestling and grappling is going to look like if it does happen at all. I just think on the feet, Joe Pyfer is just, I think he's going to try to pressure a little bit more in this fight and get Kelvin to have his back to the fence and start chucking bombs from there. I don't want to say stoppage, so I'll probably choose Joe Pyfer by decision. The guy's got flies for brains, but the dude can fight. And I hope Kelvin wins instead. As far as the rest of the card goes, or at least the main card, Patchy Mix and Bautista, I'm going to choose Patchy Mix here, maybe by stoppage. Haven't really landed on that yet. But Mario's got skills, man. But I think Patchy's going to come in from the Bellator PFL debacle with, I think, some more vigor and hunger. And I think with the skills he has, that's all he really needs, is to just have a little bit more of that ambition to come in and prove something. Kevin Holland, Vicente Luque. I mean, I want to pick Luque so bad because I just think fundamentally he's better. But, with the whole brain bleeding situation, I think he's just a lot more trigger shy than he used to be. And, making some questionable decisions during this fight. And should he even be fighting? I don't know. Against Kevin Holland, I think Holland's just going to come in, and I think it's going to be a weird fight. But I'm going to pick Kevin Holland to win. I'll say by decision. But yeah, that's my picks. Enjoy the fights, guys. Stay safe.